It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And this week marks the long-awaited return of the Merman. He's back, and I heard through the grapevine that he is better than ever. Are the rumors true, Merman? Are you indeed better than ever?
You know it.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
I experienced the Merman firsthand, so I know he's better. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/filmrageyyc. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. And you know what? We'll watch it if it played in cinemas anywhere in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Now, it seems like we haven't been sitting in the same room together
Long time.
for a long time.
It's been like a week.
And more than that.
Oh.
Because last week I was in Ontario.
Oh.
And then before that I was sick for, I don't know,
Before
a
that,
couple
you
of
were
years.
sick. A couple of years.
So it's been more than a week.
It's
Oh,
been
yeah.
a while. I miss this stink hole of a basement that is
Whatever, it's not a stink hole.
of our life.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home. Film Rage Studios. Coming at you from the wonderful city of Calgary, Alberta.
It's in Canada.
In Canada. What do we see?
We saw White Noise.
Michael Keaton. Great movie.
No, not that white noise. Thank
God.
yes.
I like that one.
That does not surprise me. White Noise is the latest offering from Noah Baumbach. It is based on the book from the mid-'80s written by Don DeLillo. Even though it was written almost 40 years ago, the material is still relevant today. The big subjects covered in this include conspiracy theories, mass consumerism, pollution, mob mentality, and family. The film centers around the Gladney family as they deal with a sudden mass evacuation due to an airborne toxic event, all while dealing with their own idiosyncrasies. Adam Driver is at his best here as Jack, the patriarch of this family, and the nation's leading expert on Adolf Hitler. Every second Jack is on screen, he is understatedly mesmerizing. There are many broad things going on around Jack, yet Driver brilliantly
is Adam Driver.
Driver's brilliantly subtle performance makes him stand out.
He had a belly, too.
He did indeed.
Cute little belly that he had.
Greta Gerwig is solid once again as Babette, Jack's wife, who has she's got some secrets. Her performance is almost a little awkward at first, but that feeds into her motivations perfectly as the film plays out. The kids are also good, with an enjoyable turn by Sam Nicola.
Sounds like it's true.
My copy is like faded. I really need to change my toner.
Change your toner.
Change your tone.
You change your toner.
Anyway, Sam Nicola. played Heinrich, who has all the answers even as he is asking the questions. And Raffi Cassidy as Denise, whose anxiety fuels her desire to help her mother. The supporting cast is excellent as well, led by Don Cheadle as Murray Siskind, a colleague of Jack's. Every scene involving Murray and Jack together brought me tremendous pleasure, especially the classroom scene where they discuss Elvis and Hitler. The scene plays out like a well-choreographed dance sequence, but with words instead of music. It is brilliant, as is this film. Noah Baumbach, I believe, has solidified his status in the realm of the Undoubted with this thought-provoking, well-acted, and undeniably pleasurable experience known as white noise. This film was Mondo.
Mondo, huh? I'm looking at Murray's face. I don't know if he liked this white noise as much as he liked the other white noise. So, never had I had so much fun watching a period piece than seeing the overtly subtle comedy of a family in the 70s filled with intelligence, humor, and consumerism, with a murder attempt, highbrow intellectual posturing, and a toxic cloud of death. I don't even know how to explain this film other than it was all so much fun. Adam Driver was at his all-time best, and Noah Baumbach was at his witty, satirical, master-minded fantasticness. I mean, to end this film with a 10-minute dance music number after all this family went through was just the icing on this delicious cake. This cast was brilliant, from the youngest of the CLFs to the oldest of the CLFs, as was the cinematography and the music. The music was so put together, as well as the sound. The ambiance created by the music in this film, again, is another thing that's just staggeringly done, especially the closing number. The film really puts us in the minds of a well put together family unit where the father is a professor of course, Adolf Hitler. That in itself made this so interesting. There is a scene, which you've already alluded to, that was so amazing, where Don Cheadle and Adam Driver have an Elvis Hitler off that builds to a frenzy of professorizing to a giant climax of joygasm. For this scene alone, this film deserves to be in the most classic halls of film history. But add to that a cast of highly intelligent CLFs and characters that were so well developed. There was not one character, even how small a part that they had, that you could not just absolutely lose yourself in each one of them for their brilliance. This film had me on the edge of my seat the entire film. I had no clue what was going to happen through the entire film. The pacing was fantastic. The humor was overt yet subtle, and I couldn't stop thinking they captured a moment in time for the 70s from a highbrow family, and yet the delivery of it, especially with Adam Driver's character, where he's like the stupidest person on the face of the earth, but talk about Hitler and he knows his shit. I absolutely love this film. It was Mondo for me.
And what did Murray think?
32 minutes. That's how long it took me to figure out what the hell was going on and what the story was actually supposed to be. The biggest issue for me was all the crosstalk. Smart people talking at 100 miles an hour in big words all at the same time.
Yes.
Loved
Pretty
it.
much everybody in the movie was smarter than me, even the kids. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I hate kids they're that young and that's big as smart asses. Like they know everything already. They're 10 years old. It's got a premise that's hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's a disaster film, which I was actually moderately enjoying. But that's not the film's entire focus. That was like the first half of the movie.
Yes.
And it was something else.
Yeah.
It was like 3 short films all starring the same characters, and it was hard to figure out how it was all connected. Adam Driver is great as always. There were some funny parts,
Yes.
and much of the first hour was entertaining.
All of it.
Maybe I didn't get the point, being an idiot. Having never seen a Noah Baumbach film till now.
Really?
No, I looked up on IMDb. I've never seen any of his films. Not one.
Wow. Okay.
Not even Marriage
Well, you
Story,
sure
which
picked
I
a good
wanted
one.
to.
Yeah,
Huh.
Marriage Story.
Marriage
I
Story
wanted
is
to see
amazing.
that one. That one I probably could have sat through because it was more or less normal. These two obviously love the guy. But if all of his movies are like this, I'll pass on the Baumbach Express. It was a meh. And that is
I'll
me
take
being-
it.
We'll take it.
And I'll be generous with that because
That's okay.
I love
I
your
will take
generosity.
your generosity. with a
I will
smile on my
admit,
face.
I did enjoy
And a song in my heart.
The end dance sequence, although not enough to actually sit through the whole thing. I left before
You had
it
to
was
pee
over.
again, didn't you?
No, I just wanted to leave.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I can't get over the characters in this. Don Cheadle.
Oh, Don Cheadle.
We after the movie on the way home, Bryce and I talked about when was the moment that you fell in love with Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Murray, when you fell in love with Don Cheadle?
Iron Man 2.
Okay. Well,
Hey, we'll take it.
yeah. Iron Man
I don't
2.
know. He was okay. No, I'm sure it was before
That
that.
is unexpected.
That was a little unexpected, yeah.
I think maybe Traffic was before that.
Yeah, you're right.
It was.
Traffic.
Traffic was before that.
And the one directly after Traffic was where I fell in love with him.
Was
Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah.
I never saw
Which
it.
was
Never
amazing.
saw it.
Which is
He's
seeing
just-
him in that movie.
He's another. That's where he takes his game to another level, and for the most part, he never got off that level. I mean, there's times when he's in some movies that are.
I think he picks movies sometimes. Like, I mean, he had to make money, so he obviously made Iron Man 2.
All the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Well,
He's in the new ones too, apparently. Even though he can't walk anymore, he's still a superhero.
he walks around in
Why
that
can't he walk?
robot suit.
What happened? What happened to Iron?
He
what
broke
is
his
it? What's his
back.
name?
He was
Just broke his back.
What's his name though in the
Don
Marvel
Cheadle,
movies?
Warhammer,
Man of
or
War, War Machine.
War Machine, or
War Machine.
Warhammer. Or
Vision
something.
knocked him out of the sky. He's paralyzed.
All right,
Broke his
I don't-
back.
I don't even remember. There's
But
just
he's still in
there's
the
so
suit.
much going on in those movies.
Just
and like,
saying,
it's just
like-
noise and people flying all over the place.
Like
and
everybody else is gone. From
how
the
can you
original
keep
Avengers,
track of any of
But
it?
he's in the new Avengers one in 3 years.
Well, it's
Like,
because they know
dude,
it's Don Cheadle. He deserves to be everywhere.
Anyway.
But you know what's funny
he
about
was-
it?
He was okay in this.
Actually, what I think is really funny about this,
Yes.
that we brought in Murray's favorite Don Cheadle moment, is the fact that Murray found this Noah Baumbach movie confusing because of the dialogue, and then you find Iron Man 2 confusing because of all the action
It's
that's
complete.
going on.
I don't know
and
what's
yet
going on.
Murray's perfectly intelligent enough to understand all the action,
apparently I'm
and
an idiot.
you're completely an idiot when it comes to action.
No, like-
so it's kind of a really nice
If-
breed here.
It's just noise.
If there was one
No.
conversation, they had one conversation going on at a time in this movie, I probably could have followed it.
Yeah.
But say in the staff room where all the professors.
Yes.
There's what?
so good.
8 different conversations.
Yes.
Yes.
I know.
9 different people.
And yes,
I didn't know who was talking about what. I was lost.
But that moment is totally professors at lunch, because they're all posturing to who has the bigger brain. And that's what made it so funny, is because as you're
Awesome.
looking at Adam Driver's character, he's clueless.
Yeah, he is so
Like, he's
overmatched by everybody in the room.
By everybody
He's
in the
not
room.
talking about Hitler.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got no chance.
he's got nothing except Hitler, which makes it
which
even
is the
more
dumbest thing ever to specialize.
I know.
But that's why it's
And not
funny.
once in the whole two and a half hour movie, when he's talking about Hitler, any of those times, did he ever mention the Holocaust? Like,
Yeah.
all you ever talked about was Hitler, was how great he was and how much he loved his mother. And I'm like,
Well, yeah, you did
he
talk
killed
about how
millions
you never
of people.
said he was great.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
he
not in
didn't-
so many words.
Yeah,
No.
he wasn't necessarily saying Hitler was great.
No.
He was basically
loved
just
his
saying
mother.
the facts.
He's trying to help you
the facts
understand where he
of
came
Hitler.
from. Yeah, the
just,
facts.
Just the
but-
facts,
Just
Jack.
the facts, man.
Yeah,
Just
you
the
didn't talk
facts.
about the war or the Holocaust. Just
See what I did
His-
there?
his
'Cause
childhood.
character's Jack.
Yeah.
Just the facts, Jack.
anyway. I'm glad you guys liked
It's
it.
funny.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't hate it.
It was
so.
too
witty.
long.
It was.
Cut a half hour. I might have been able
Oh
to sit through
no, it was perfect.
it. Anything over 2 hours, I can't do.
I loved it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and the sad thing is, because of my level of sickness, we didn't get to watch a second film. But you know what? Christmas is coming, and we're going to get to see a shit ton of
Christmas week,
movies.
there's about 8 different movies coming.
That's right. So be prepared for our January first episode in January.
Yeah.
It's going to be a film rage-a-thon or something.
Rage-a-thon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
The crazy. It's the crazy.
pumped. Hey, I haven't heard that music in a while.
I know. It's like I wasn't here. Well,
I asked about you every week.
I'm
did.
sure you did.
Are we
This
getting
is,
the top Ryan Reynolds movies that are Christmas films?
I wouldn't
related?
dare because you guys hate them all. No, this is my
It's
minute
true.
from the last podcast I was supposed to be a part of,
Ah,
Okay.
which I just basically saved for the last month.
nice.
So it's a little dated, still appropriate.
Always appropriate.
Okay, this is about Wakanda Forever, which you
Okay.
guys saw, which I did
did.
not,
All
on
right.
the principle of it.
Nice.
So, from what I hear, you guys didn't enjoy it as much as the rest of the world, but so this is not
True.
quite what I wrote originally, but I'm sure the whole world's in love with Wakanda Forever. Sure, even you guys shed some man tears at the end during
nope.
one
Nope.
of the 3 funerals they had.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
I was one of the few who did not like the first Black Panther.
Mm.
Why would I go to this one without Chadwick Boseman? Like, there was no point, and they never told you who the damn Black Panther was going to be. All the trailers and promos they ever
what's
showed,
supposed to get you to the theater.
all they showed was her, crying over her family gone. I'm like, okay, who the hell is going to be the Panther?
That's the intrigue.
Whatever. Not
That was the bait,
3 hours
Murray.
worth.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It was the worm on the hook.
so in a weird reversal, because you know how much I love superhero movies,
Yes.
The best movies with
I
Chadwick
am
Boseman.
going to be the one to do some superhero bashing for a while.
What? This is the best day of my life because Murray never bashes
This is
superhero
why
movies.
the MCU sucks. Now
Oh.
This isn't a Merman rage.
it is a rage. First of all, the MCU relies on cheap jokes.
True.
True that.
Early films used humor to diffuse otherwise serious, intense situations.
Mm-hmm.
Jokes help tell the story, create funny character interactions. Later movies, jokes often interrupted the flow of the story, i.e., Love and Thunder,
Oh God.
which could not be saved even with Taika Waititi's unique humor, and which is pretty much where I turned on the whole superhero genre
That's
because
just recently then.
I wanted to love that movie so much.
I know. It's got
And it
Thor
just-
and Taka.
It broke my heart in 2.
And once you break Murray's heart, it's really hard
It's
to
like
mend it.
Mjolnir, whatever, the hammer. It's broken 1,000 pieces. Like, that's it. That's what happened to my heart.
And only hugs and money can make Murray better.
And Jane Foster.
Jane
All right.
What's a Jane Foster?
That was the mighty Thor.
Yeah, the dead wife of Thor.
Well,
The-
no, they were never
It's a
married.
zombie Thor now?
No, his girlfriend. The one who was Thor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And she's
That's
a zombie?
No, she didn't come
Come
back.
on.
She
I
was
don't
just
remember
dead.
any of this. I gotta watch that
Did
movie
you see
again.
Love and Thunder?
Yeah.
Did you see there
I
were-
didn't see any zombie
Did you
Thors.
see there were two Thors in that movie?
One was a woman. One
One was a woman.
man.
yeah,
That's-
but
that's
she
Jane-
wasn't dead.
She died at the
She
end.
died at the end.
So she's
Spoiler.
a zombie?
No, she's just
died.
dead.
She just died of cancer.
Then if she was a zombie, it might have been okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
yeah.
who's Thor?
Thor is Thor.
And his
What
Thor
is
daughter.
going on right
Thor,
now?
Odin's son from Asgard, is Chris Hemsworth.
Okay,
The other one's a fake one.
backtrack a second. So, when do we get to see zombie Thor?
You don't.
Actually, you do. If you look at the What If series on
There you go.
Disney Plus, there's a zombie
Yeah, if
Thor.
you go onto your streaming services, you can
That's
watch
right.
that
That
crap.
we all hate.
There you
Okay.
go.
Now, let's get back to the
Anyway.
Murman Minute.
Next up, Spider-Man movies showed the MCU's limitations.
I like
Though the
it.
Tom Holland movies had major success, can argue with the box office, they were not really that
can always
they
argue
weren't
with
that
it.
distinct. When compared to Sam Raimi's trilogy and Mark Webb's Amazing Spider-Man duology, they just weren't as good.
Plus, you had Toby.
The
Toby.
Raimi trilogy and Amazing
love
Spider-Man
Toby.
duology were inventive and distinctive. And the MCU's Spider-Man films just seemed constrained. They were just bland, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the last one.
You liked it, but not
Next
a lot.
up,
Quite a
the
bit.
Hulk. Mr. Potato right here. Started out as one of the best characters in the MCU with his sympathetic journey and inner struggles. After Age of Ultron, he became more of a joke. Films like Thor Ragnarok, which I actually enjoyed him
I
in,
think we all did.
basically ruined Hulk's character by including too much humor, not focusing enough on Bruce Banner and the Hulk's relationship. Avengers Endgame basically skipped over the whole character development and just got into Professor Hulk right there. Like, they didn't mention how he got there, it was there.
But you know, the good thing about that, there is a silver lining, is that we get less of Mark Ruffalo.
That's not good.
It's the best.
More Mark Ruffalo's always better.
No.
Plus, Hulk pops up in She-Hulk.
Yeah, well,
Attorney
let's
at
not talk
law.
about a streaming web series.
Yeah, that's also terrible.
Also
I couldn't
terrible. I
get
didn't
past
bother
the second
watching it.
episode.
Really? I didn't mind it.
Okay, and also, lots of fans left after Avengers Endgame because it was Endgame. That's it. Story was over.
Okay.
It's an enormous hit. Many people consider it one of the best. You guys
Who?
didn't.
What?
Endgame is also the point that many people stopped watching the MCU movies.
I never
Many fans
stopped watching,
believed that the main
unfortunately.
story had just wrapped up, which it basically had.
Okay.
As a result, some audience felt there was no need to keep watching the rest, which shows and everyone that comes out.
I feel this too, but
They
Bryce
get
keeps making us watch them.
Fewer fans. And then box office numbers don't motivate filmmakers to make better movies.
No.
They go for the cash grab.
True.
MCU suffers from being lifeless and lazy.
True.
The more recent
And
films
Disneyfied.
feel Disney owns them. That's the other problem. They feel very routine and commonplace, and maybe with less motivation. However, they still do well at the box office, which doesn't motivate them
to
make
stop.
any
Exactly.
better. We'll just make
They're killing
$500 million
cinemas.
every movie. Just make everything the same,
Mm-hmm.
just like Disney does. And finally, MCU shows and movies take the focus off the main heroes. I'm going to say it. There are way too many Marvel TV shows. The movies and shows are pushing aside their big heroes to focus on side characters. Example, the new Captain America. Spoiler alert, Steve Rogers got old and retired. But he was a super soldier with superhuman strength and speed. Sam Wilson has a pair of wings and some Uzis.
Nice.
At this point, who really cares about these new characters? I sure don't. Here's what we have to look forward to from the MCU.
All right.
Ant-Man and the Wasp
Yeah, it looks
in
terrible.
February.
Looks terrible.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in May.
The second one was meh.
The Marvels, which is the Captain Marvel sequel with, I don't know.
A bunch of Marvels.
Yeah,
The
that's
Marvels.
in July. Then a whole year and a half from now, the new Captain America, New World Order with Sam Wilson,
What's
And-
a Sam Wilson?
the black guy. What's his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Oh, he's Captain America
The best
now?
actor.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
watch, see, you watch the series. I don't need
I did watch the series.
I
I
didn't.
didn't. Did that happen at the end of the series?
Yeah,
believe he took
when
over.
when what's his face? Chris Evans came back and handed him the shield and said, "You're now."
Was that in the movie or the TV?
Oh.
I thought it was in the movie.
Well, the
Was that in a
series-
movie?
The
That was the end
series,
of the
yes,
movie.
the series had him come to the point where he says, "Yeah, okay, I'll be it."
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't really
We have something
remember.
called the Thunderbolts, which I have no idea what that is.
No,
It's
that's not
another
a
one that
thing.
sounds
That doesn't sound
Sort of
right.
thing. Then we have the new Blade, 2024.
If Wesley Snipes isn't Blade,
Not
it's not
Wesley
worth watching.
Snipes. I can't remember who.
And if Guillermo del Toro's not directing one of them,
I
then
don't
it's
think
not
it
worth
is.
it either.
Blade.
And then the only one I'm
Blade's
looking.
MCU.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
he's gonna join the Super Friends or whatever the
Yeah,
MCU's
Super
Super
Friends.
Friends are.
Yeah.
Avengers.
Super Friends.
But
Blade-
isn't Blade
Blade
a
Avenger.
vampire or
Yeah,
part
but he-
vampire or
Killer.
They'll,
something?
they'll
He's a
need
vampire
him.
killer.
They'll need him
He's
to.
half vampire.
They'll need him to
So
kill
is he
other
gonna
vampires.
is he
that
gonna
attack
hang out with
Lucy.
like that Morbius guy?
Yeah, he's gonna kill Morbius.
Yeah,
He's gonna kill Morbius.
Sure.
Let's hope.
I think
I
they'd
don't
be
know.
friends. Don't they
Then
have
we
like
have-
similar stuff going on?
We have the only one I am looking forward to, which you guys are not.
Okay.
Deadpool 3.
I don't
With
mind
Hugh
Deadpool
Jackman as Wolverine. Finally, those two together.
That one sounds
because-
good. I like Hugh Jackman.
But it's a Disney production, so we'll
So
see.
it'll be terrible.
It'll be PG. Then a new
You
fantastic.
can't make Deadpool PG.
Well, it's Disney. They're gonna try. Then we have another Fantastic Four. Yes, they're recasting again.
Again? What is it?
With, I
700
think it was
times?
John Krasinski is one of them. I can't remember who the rest.
So is
of them
this still going to be like a Sony co-production?
are. I think Sony sold it.
So it's going to be exclusively MCU this time.
I think so. Then we have the Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, who apparently is a new bad guy.
Now. Can we please?
That's in 2025. Then we
Okay,
have.
why are we?
They're wrapping it up.
Are we
with-
even going to be alive in 2025? That's like
I don't want to
so
be if this is
far
what I have
away.
to look
Then they're
forward
wrapping
to.
all these movies up with Avengers: The Secret Wars in 2026.
so. This time, the first one took like what 40 years to complete. This one's going to take 4.
Sure.
No, I don't know.
So my point is,
something.
by the time the Avengers finish the war, will anybody care anymore?
I don't care now. So what does that mean?
I don't know, but anyway, that's what I had building up for the last month when Black Panther came out. So
You know,
you had to hear
normally after the Murman Minute, I
know.
have so much joy in my heart
know.
that I want to love the world. This Murman Minute's setting me up nicely for a good rage.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
The planet is dying.
Exactly.
We don't have proper water. We have microplastics, and now we have the MCU.
Crypto is destroying the
Crypto
world.
shit.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet rage. I had a completely different rage set up for this, but thanks to the Murman Minute, it's blasted me into the future of rage. And I am begging you with all of my heart and soul, to please stop make us watching these terrible superhero movies. They're all terrible. They have the same plot. I can't stand any of them. There's not one original concept in any of them. And you can predict everything that's going to happen because the good guys win and the bad guys lose, but nobody dies because everybody loves each other. It's terrible. I don't want to watch them anymore. Dare me to watch them on Rage or Dare, but there's got to be other movies we can see in cinema.
Got 10 words for you.
What?
The podcast is not called Film Love. It's called Film Rage.
You always use that as an example. It doesn't make me want to pay my money
Stop
for
hitting
them.
your head into the mic.
I hate them.
Yeah.
Hate
I get it.
them.
I'm with you. And we're going to the next one.
I hate you too. Still love you, Murray.
Thanks.
But I hate Bryce.
It's all right.
I would never make you see a superhero movie. I'm fine going on my own. If I go to them at all.
I might be sick that week.
Yeah.
I'll get... What's a really deadly illness that I could potentially recover from?
Plague. Syphilis.
Plague is hard. Syphilis is treatable. They have deadly gonorrhea, but
There you go.
then it's got the word
That
deadly in
sounds
it.
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think you want deadly gonorrhea.
Well, if it can miss every time one of the MCU films
like
come
a
out,
mild case of deadly gonorrhea.
is it maybe not so deadly gonorrhea?
Yeah.
I'll take that version of gonorrhea.
Give me the not
I
so
cannot
deadly
go
one.
see this because my dick is green and I can't get off the couch.
For a fortnight.
Okay, so if you hear this excuse, then you know what happened.
Into the superhero movie.
My rage this week is
you're going.
these stupid, terrible, awful superhero movies. I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
We see a movie like White Noise, which is one of the most creative films that's ever been made.
Yeah, and
original and
next week
surprising.
I'm going to Avatar, so stick it.
Yeah. Oh, did we mention already that White Noise was playing on one screen.
Yes.
In a city.
Hey, shut up. Shut up.
With a city over 100.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Just saying.
There was 12
Just
people
shut
in the
up.
cinema, though.
That's right.
Just shut up.
12
Can you please
people.
play my rage music?
Now, excuse me. Stealing your thunder.
I don't even know if I should do my rage anymore.
Sure.
Is it about the MCU also?
No.
Is it the same as last week?
My rage, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, has been in theaters for weeks now and is playing on 16 different screens in Calgary. White Noise is playing on one screen in Calgary. That is my rage.
Wow. That's Murray.
You didn't mention, as I was going to finish my thought, is there are over 100 screens in our city.
Yes.
And this movie was playing in one.
And 16% of them are showing a movie that's been out for 4 or 5 weeks or whatever.
Yep.
And it's terrible.
Pretty much.
Don't
And
forget
it's
that.
terrible.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Can we just talk, just to jump on top of that, because you used the swear word, Wakanda Forever. The whole fact that, we hate that whole concept of white savior, right? And, when you reviewed it, I have to give extra kudos to you for that, because I wasn't sure exactly what was bothering me so much about it. But here they have two ethnic societies with their rights, and they're putting them to pit against each other.
When they should be joining
They should be joining forces and fucking kicking the ass.
Kicking the ass of the evil white
colonialists.
man.
Yeah, it's like, and yet they try and make it seem like they kind of just brush over it.
Yeah.
But the message wasn't, the message that they were delivering wasn't that, this is happening to them and they should do this. They somehow wrote into a Disney-fied script that they should be again pushing down. Like, I don't know what people of color thought watching this movie, but I mean, it's making me angry that they didn't actually have a Wakanda
I don't
Forever
understand
that
why that hasn't been brought up more, because it just doesn't. It makes no it makes no sense. They started the movie started and it was actually making sense.
Yeah.
And there was, okay, we're going to be going against the rest of the world. Hey, great. We've got these other guys that are having the same problem with these jackasses trying to steal their resources too.
Yep.
Let's all get together. Let's defend our... no, that's not... Let's just go fight
Let's
each
have
other.
them fight each
Why
other.
are we fighting each other? I still don't know.
Because of white privilege. That's it.
Anyways.
So ultimately, my rage added onto yours was white privilege. Makes me rage.
And the fact that there's only 3 movies playing in all of our screens in the whole city. So you can't find anything you want to watch.
Well, that's going to be different over Christmas. We're going to get to see a whole bunch of crap.
Christmas Eve or Boxing Day, everything comes out. Let's wait till people are home at Christmas with their relatives. Then let's put every good movie that's out there all at once. Good.
No, there won't be any good movies out.
I beg to differ.
Oh, I figured you would.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
So 2021 is upon us, and instead of flying cars and monkey robot butlers, we have a pandemic. We have media making every little annoying twit of a child think they're going to be the next famous celebrity because they did some stupid trend they've seen somebody else doing 9 million times. We have people that are self-entitled and stupid and given a voice through social media, constantly whining about how everybody else is the problem and how everyone else needs fixing. We have celebrities lecturing us about how we have to give more so we can elevate everyone to a better life from the security of their 7-bedroom, multi-million-dollar estates. We have politicians lying to us that they're going to fix the situations we're in that they created in the first place. And then we've got me having the conversations that a lot of us are thinking but nobody's talking about. Because these things have to be said. I had to say it, the podcast. Available wherever you get your podcast fix or at www.ihadtosayitpodcast.com. Why don't you come listen to what I've got to say?
Well, we got a little bit of change up this week. So, I put that we might need to talk about Noah Baumbach in anticipation that Murray might have actually hated the movie. But
Almost
thankfully he didn't. So Noah Baumbach, you are still undoubted.
Yay!
I guess it would be unfair of me to condemn the guy after the one movie of his I've seen.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch any others.
Yeah, when the next movie comes out, just don't go to see that one.
Just so they can go.
And then come back and see another one because you'll probably give that one.
That was something it made make me rage, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Although I was actually hoping to see Marriage Story. That was
Marriage
3 years
Story
ago.
is devastating.
But it was 3 years ago.
But also Marriage Story is not a Murray movie because it's very, 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 very heavy. The performances by ScarJo and Adam Driver are beyond fantastic. They both should have got Oscars. So for that reason, you should see it, but you will not like the story because it's very, very heavy drama.
I lived through divorce. I mean,
so you're gonna be sad.
It's traumatic.
You're gonna be sad.
But now I guess I don't have to.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the other thing I wanted to bring up on here, which is kind of a moot point, because if we put Don Cheadle on as Mesmerizing.
Yeah, he's gone already.
He's gone already because Adam Driver
blew
took
everybody
him out
of the water.
But before, so can we talk about his performances and everything up until that point so that we could say he was mesmerizing for at least 2 minutes?
30 seconds.
Yeah,
do we think Don Cheadle is mesmerizing aside from White Noise?
But I just saw White Noise.
I know, but pretend you haven't seen it.
How can I do
just
that?
Just do it.
Okay, so I'm going back in time a week ago, and you're asking me Don Cheadle.
Isn't Don Cheadle mesmerizing?
Yeah, he is.
He is, yeah. Murray, what do you think? Do you think Don Cheadle's mesmerizing?
Apparently they say no.
Yeah, there you go. So Don Cheadle is mesmerizing. But wait, didn't we see the movie White Noise?
We just saw White Noise, and Adam Driver
was
he was amazing.
Was the most amazing, But wait a minute. Yeah. Adam Driver, is he even on our mesmerized list?
He's not.
So, why isn't he? So then that poses the question, why is Adam Driver not on our mesmerized list? And you know what? We had talked about him before. And if you remember what you said.
What did I say?
At that point, you had said that you hadn't seen enough Adam Driver films to be able to make an accurate.
I don't.
No, because this was a long time ago.
Okay, maybe a long time ago.
This was a long time ago, like in the age of Star Wars. But he's been in how many fucking movies in the last 2 years?
I will say that after getting directed by Ben Affleck, he's upped his game because Ben Affleck has a ability to do that for actors.
Right. See, you know what?
That's the movie he was in.
That's right, and he was mesmerizing in that.
Compared to the other two, yeah.
Oh yeah, like he crushed them so hard it wasn't funny.
Was horrible.
Yeah, the movie was so horrible.
Oh my god, it was bad.
Ben Affleck brings out the best in actors.
Yeah, so what?
And the miracle is that he's in that movie too, and he was so amazing.
The thing that Ben Affleck does to me is makes me sick to my stomach. For the most part.
If he had just directed the movie, I probably could have tolerated it, but
no, but he
whatever. He was perfect.
No, Murray,
in the
movie was directed terrible too. Don't forget.
No, it was not.
Just not seeing his face would have hated as much.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Can I please just leave you with the fact?
This is obviously just like a joke. You guys are just continuing.
No, I think our listeners think that
I respect the fact that you've stretched this out as long as you have. But come on, guys, let's be serious. Ben Affleck's the best.
No, and I think, you know what? The funniest thing is I don't know how many of our listeners
the best actor of mine or any other
social
generation.
Media actually think it's the other way. Not very many people like Ben Affleck the way you do.
That's true.
At any rate, he did bring the best out of Adam Driver, and Adam Driver's been amazing ever since. So.
Yeah, okay, so let's just talk about Adam Driver's last few films.
Okay.
White Noise.
Mesmerizing.
He was mesmerizing. House of Gucci.
He was absolutely
mesmerizing. The Last Duel, he crushed everybody in that film because everything was terrible. Annette, he was amazing in that.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, we have the Sparks Brothers.
Yeah.
Every single person in the Star Wars, Marriage Story. He even crushed ScarJo.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
So
Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, so the Dead Don't Die, we have to rewatch, is what it is, Murray.
Oh, I know. Who else is in that?
I know. That's why we have to decide.
He also loves.
No, she's gone.
Yeah, Tilda
She's
Swinton's
off
gone,
now?
but Bill
Tilda
Murray's
Swinton's gone.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton's gone, Murray. But Bill
Bill
Murray
Murray's
isn't.
still there.
So Bill Murray and Adam Driver. So
By
when
the
we-
way, it broke my freaking heart the day Tilda Swinton got
I know.
eliminated.
yeah, and it was in a movie that he hated.
And it was in a movie that I'm like, why the bleepity blank was she even in this piece of dog crap?
It's
Constantine.
one of the best movies ever made.
Keanu Reeves.
That's right.
It's awful.
The best
then
actor of ours or any
I
generation.
can't believe that's what
The
took her
Report, I don't
down.
know the
So,
Report.
when we come back in the new year,
Ridiculous.
the first list film we will be watching again is The Dead Don't Die, because I think you also had to rewatch that anyway
I need to rewatch it.
because of something else. I can't remember why. Was it because of Jarmusch?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Because we wanted to see if Jarmusch was
Because Jim
was-
Jarmusch
was-
has directed some
was
of my
Undoubted.
favorite movies.
That's curious.
Yeah. So, in the new year, we will have Bill Murray versus Adam Driver in The Dead Don't Die. Look for that in January.
Yeah.
Well, even though we had really nothing to talk about on the list, we still had some good stuff to talk about.
Anytime we can talk about Ben Affleck, it's a good day.
Yeah, especially when it's
For
talking
you.
about how terrible he is. So
Just stop. Everybody knows you're kidding, so it's cool.
No,
everybody knows I'm dead.
really not.
Serious.
I love him too.
Last week on Rage or Dare, the boys pulled from my torturous bag of evil remakes to find the conveniently timed 2012 remake of Red Dawn. This week, Bryce gets his dose of Death by High School Musical 3. Let's see, will he take it orally or as a suppository? It's Bryce, so to paraphrase Wesley Snipes, always bet on anal. Now let's check in with the boys and see if a Korean invasion will be as delicious as some tasty kimchi, or if it will be more like a visit from Dennis Rodman. Actually, those both sound kind of tasty. And by tasty, I mean a tasty helping of rage.
I love Casey.
He's the best.
Okay.
Can we just stop for a second before you go into this?
Yeah.
What I want to say, possibly the worst thing he's ever put in his bag, is that everybody's going to get more Casey coming up, because in, I think, 2 weeks' time from now, he will be on our annual Krampus special. So get ready to get all the Casey you can take.
There you go.
Now, what do you think of Red Dawn 2012?
I think Casey has broken me. Red Dawn was poop. It was so bad that I would really not like to relive it with a review. I'm even going to plug my ears when Jim talks about it, as I just refuse to relive this anymore. I may have to... I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I'm thinking I'm going to have like traumatic episodes for the rest
Have you
of
got
my life.
PTSD from watching another Casey film?
I'm just going to be trying to erase this experience from my memory. The first time I saw it back in 2012, it didn't affect me like this. I thought it was unnecessary and bad, but I don't remember it being this bad. I think the cumulative effects of Casey's torturous bag of remake hell may be the reason that I cannot bring myself to even talk about this. I have never considered going to therapy, but I may not be able to deal with this with like the mental anguish all by myself that Casey has caused me over these past months. And now I'm seriously considering getting some outside help. Red Dawn is the straw that broke the camel's back. Or more accurately, it's the movie that broke me. It's also a rage.
But was it Life of David Gale rage?
I'm not talking about, no, there's nothing's worse than the life of David Gale, but it's the cumulative effects of this. Like why?
How can somebody be so good
This is sadistic.
at delivering rage?
This is sadistic. I'm starting to think that Casey is actually evil.
He is. That's why we brought him on. How many times has Bryce said in the past, you people just don't get it. We want to see stuff that's going to break us. And now that moment has happened. Bryce is officially broken. But you know what? You haven't had a break. Everyone that came from my bag and everyone that's come from Casey's bag, you used to get pulling from the listener's dare bag. And there was a lot of stuff that came out of there as Matt.
I miss the listener's dare bag. We need to bring that
You've
back.
been constantly barraged by terrible. And then I got a juicy break last week because you got me to watch The Apple.
Yeah, I felt like...
So, yeah.
Anyways, go ahead and talk about it, but I ain't listening.
Well, I hope you do listen because this was, first off, the first iteration of this movie was bad enough. But this one and the whole concept of North Korea being able to invade makes absolutely no sense. Plus the fact that doesn't every single American have at least 27 guns per person? If they wanted to make this even partially believable, have it be a real country invading, like China or Russia, not a Korean led by Russian team. The sheer number of North Koreans and the equipment they had made this so hard to believe. But you know what? These boys can save America. This was Fast and the Furious, but with kids. You know, kind of like Goonies, but, you know.
They're high school kids.
Yeah, but with high school kids. And it had Fast and the Furious physics-defying, plus over-the-top, raw American. Once you get past their ignorance of letting themselves get onto American soil and all the technology they had, even if most of their troops were overseas, like the Americans, this would never happen. On top of that, the Korean army needed to spend a ton of its resources to find 7 kids. Everything about this seems so dumb. And that's the best way I can think to describe it. And I'm trying to dumb down my words to not use big words to describe how dumb this film was. It almost felt like a longer episode of The A-Team for after a while you're watching it. But without Mr. T, it's not worth seeing an episode of The A-Team. But how many times did we have to see Chris Helmsworth do his bastardized Braveheart pep talk speech before I threw up? I think it was probably about 3. It took me 3 times before he made one of his stupid speeches. And then follow up that with at the end, they have his pouty brother start saying his stupid Braveheart speech. Plus the fact everyone else has to go through stop checks and are under surveillance, but the kids can walk around in plain sight everywhere. And what must have had to have been 6 months of training in the woods and interacting with people, no one else in an American town / city joined their resistance? This makes absolutely no sense. These are goddamn Americans. They're not going to let some fucking Korean dictators take over their country. They're gonna kick ass until the last dying day. Don't forget seasoned Marines that are stupider than these kids. Excuse me? But the end perfectly tied this film together, as it ended where the beginnings of The Purge began, I think. Right? This was the start of The Purge, wasn't it? Isn't The Purge came after this movie? Right? It's The Purge.
I wasn't listening, sorry. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're saying.
If not, then, you know, I want to see the Purge movie of this and them kill that whole town. The only thing that would be carrying an American flag would be the Purge people when they purge this town. This was so completely awful. And yes, of course, it was a rage. Casey is the god of rage.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say.
I mean, isn't Nicolas Cage god of war? And Thor is god of thunder? But Casey, the nerdy photographer, is god of rage.
Okay.
It's official. All hail Casey.
No.
One of us.
No.
One of us. One of us.
Not hailing
One
that
of.
evil bastard.
All right. Well, let's see if you'll hail this, because it's Bryce's turn to go into the Chunky Monkey bag of High School Musical 3.
You guys still haven't pulled that yet?
Nope. We've been taking our chances. And our next Rage or Dare will be our last one for the year, and then we'll come back in the new
What's going
year.
on? There's so many stuck together here. I'm trying to pull one.
You can do it.
I think
Did
I've
you
got
get one?
Yes, I think I've got one.
All right. So when we come back next week, Bryce will be watching.
I don't know what this is. Apparently it's got two names, or maybe that's not, maybe it doesn't. I don't understand. Hard Cash, aka Run for the Money. It is not High School Musical 3.
That's good.
It is good because that means that I still might not have to watch that.
Yeah, so this is from 2002,
Okay.
and it stars the ever fabulous Christian Slater and Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
Hard Cash.
And this was released in the theaters?
Oh, of course
yeah.
it was. It's got Val Kilmer in it. He doesn't
guys
do
were big
anything.
back then.
He doesn't do anything.
Why has it got two names then?
Yeah, because it was probably so bad they tried to name it when they released it. So the worldwide gross for this
Yeah.
at the box office. Do you want to you guys want to play a quick game here?
Sure.
Closest to without going over.
Okay, I'm going to say $200 billion.
Okay? You're over.
80 mil.
Okay,
Guess.
I'm going to say $87,000
And,
Val Kilmer, Christian Slater?
yep,
in 2002.
in 2002.
75.
Not in 1992.
Okay, so Bryce, your guess was?
87,000.
And yours was 75?
Mil.
The real answer was 115,000.
I was
Oh,
close.
okay. I thought it was a little better.
So Bryce wins.
What do I win?
You get to watch this
You
movie.
have to watch this
That doesn't seem like winning at all.
movie. Hey, Balthazar Getty's in this.
I don't even know who that is.
That's the kid from Lord of the Flies.
Oh,
And Daryl Hannah.
yeah, that's not making me want to watch it.
William
Unless she's
Forsythe.
directed by Quentin Tarantino, she's unwatchable.
Vern Troyer's in this. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Murray's gonna watch this now.
I don't know about that. I do like Christian Slater. He's one of my favorites.
All right, I'm watching Hard Cash, aka Run for the Money, from 2002.
I enjoy that.
Oh,
I like Christian Slater. I like Val
do.
Kilmer.
I love my Christian Slater.
How bad can it be?
There you go.
Gonna find out.
I think Christian Slater is the
He's
yeah,
cool.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
you don't
say
like
anything.
Christian Slater.
I
like
think
him.
he's pretty one-dimensional. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rager Dare, and is now going to be dubbed the God of Rage. Find us everywhere on social media at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We do not make any money for making this podcast, so if you like us, please give us money. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, 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 pretty please, please. That's it, fellas. I'll wake. Rage on.
Rage on.